officers and non-coms were assigned. Some of them were a little overweight from time behind a desk. Others had the pallor the perpetual jungle war gave. But all of them had the constantly flickering eyes with the wrinkles at the edges, wrinkles ground in by endless nights staring into blank night and forest. Eyes that were hardened by the war that had gone on since 1944 and might continue for another 2 generations. Each man carried as his personal basic load about 80 pounds, a pack, 1 extra olive green uniform, 2 pairs of sandals, 1 set of black pajamas, a raincoat, a shoddy nylon tent, a woven hammock, a mosquito net, a few meters of rope, a wicker helmet, and a very simple first aid kit. They also carried their individual weapons, Chinese-type 56 copies of the Russian Kalashnikov or AK-47. It was one of the finest assault rifles ever built by any nation. Each man had 200 rounds of ammunition. Specially chosen men also carried radios, the broken-down 82mm or 120mm mortars, and RPD, SGM, or Degtyarev machine guns. The 302nd was ready. In October of 1967, their orders were given. March south. They were to spearhead the long-awaited general offensive, the offensive that would overthrow the puppet government of the South and destroy the hated American colonialists. The attack would begin during the traditionally peaceful celebration of the Vietnamese New Year. Tet, 1968, the year of the monkey. In the final hours before they marched, some soldiers of the 302nd Division had themselves tattooed, "I was born in the North, to die in the South." The 12th Infantry Division, United States Army. FTA was lettered on the back of the infantryman's sun-bleached camouflage helmet cover. Fuck the Army. The grunt was plodding up a 30-degree slope, trying to keep in the ribbed-soled footprints of the man ahead of him. One grunt, lost, pissed off, dirty, smelly, and bewildered. He was one of almost 18,000 Americans who wore the patch of the 12th Infantry Division, a black bayonet inside a red flat-bottomed arch. Since he was a line soldier, there was about a 40% chance the man was black. He almost certainly had a secondary education or less. He was most probably from the South or Midwest, and he was likely 19 years old. This particular grunt was 4 months into his tour, and he could instantly tell you how many days, hours, and possibly even minutes were left of the 13 months before he was rotated back to the land of the Big PX. The grunt was also 18 days out of a shower, had worn the same uniform for 22 days, had eaten a hot meal twice in that time, and had not fired his rifle in the last month and a half. He had no idea where he or the rest of the men in his company were. 3 weeks ago, helicopters had dropped his battalion into a valley somewhere in South Vietnamese Piedmont. Then, the 600-man battalion had formed up in company-sized elements around 100 men, and the battalion commander had given this grunt CO a mission. Proceed so many clicks on such-and-so compass heading to this point, a ballpoint indentation on the captain's map, and form a perimeter for the night. Viet Cong, in estimated 2 company strength, are operational somewhere in this area. The ballpoint had easily circled a 10-square-mile area. Search and destroy. Orders went down the chain, and the grunt heaved himself to his feet and started to hump. For 22 days, he had seen nothing but jungle, and the sweat dark back of the man in front of him during the day and nothing but black silence in front of his scraped-out fighting position at night.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.